Happy Thursday, everybody. Today is Data Talk Thursdays with Dan. I hope you all are enduring the cold weather. I know it warmed up quite a bit today in comparison to the lows that we've had here. Hopefully you didn't lose power for very long. And I hope that things are getting back on track for you all, back to some bit of a normal daily life without the power outages. But today's topic is PPP. So back in January, they opened up another round of the PPP loans for business owners. And that kind of led me to think about today's topic of the similar acronym, PPP: process, Peacemaker, and purchase. So I posted a couple different screenshots of seesaws in the Facebook group. There's a different type of plank seesaw. There's this more of a flexible seesaw. And there's also a wooden seesaw that I also posted in the Facebook group. So when you think about the home buying process, I normally talk about, everything that takes place before you're under contract. But for this video, I wanted to focus a little bit more on the process once you're under contract. Because once you have a contract accepted by the seller of the property, that's essentially when the negotiation process begins. And it's very much like a seesaw. It can be very flexible. It can be a little more rigid. It might feel uncomfortable, but my role as your agent is to help you through that process. So the PPP, again, process, Peacemaker, and then purchase, because ultimately we have to come to an agreement with the seller in order for you to be able to buy the home. So when you go under contract, at that point, you enter into the inspection window. The inspection window can be any number of days that are specified in the contract. It might be 10 days, it could be 14. There's just a specified amount of time that you have as the homeowner or the home purchaser, of course, to do your due diligence to determine if you want to move forward with the purchase of this house. So with the negotiation process, once you go through inspections, you get back your reports from your inspector. Normally you have a whole house inspection, you have a mold inspection, you have a radon test of the property. You also have the property screened for termites. And then all of that documentation comes back to you and myself to be able to review the information to see if there's something for some reason that stands out that might dissuade you from wanting to actually move forward to buy this property. So once we gather all that information and discuss the information, at that point, we're going to go ahead and request a resolution of repairs. It's in an amendment, and then we send that to the seller along with the listing agent and ask for certain things to be either repaired, or you may request to have the purchase price reduced if it warrants that. Now, during the resolution process, that also has a specific window of time. Once you send the inspection notice along with your resolutions of repairs to the seller, that timeline starts. That may take 5 days. That's the standard time it would actually be by default. If we want longer than that, that has to be specified in the contract initially. But this resolution period is when you're requesting repairs from the seller to either take care of an issue that's existing or to have that purchase price reduced. That way it's beneficial, or it's at least more of an advantage for you to have certain things done before you buy the home. So when you send the resolution back, at that point, the seller can either choose to fix those things, or they may choose to do any number of other things. They can choose to reduce the purchase price. They may choose to give you a seller concession. I shared some information about seller concessions in the Facebook group yesterday. So a seller concession could be paying for closing costs on your behalf. It could also be paying for other costs that you may incur. Feel free to reference that post I put in the Facebook group about seller concessions. But typically, what you want to do is be able to come out of pocket as little as possible up front to buy this home. So most often people request additional seller paid closing cost. Now, once all the back and forth, all the seesawing concludes, at that point, a final agreement will be met. And then both you and the seller will actually sign a documentation that just outlines what intends to take place before closing. If there are repairs that they agreed to take care of, those things have to be done before closing. If they are planning on paying additional closing costs, those costs would be credited to you during the closing process. So again, when you think about the PPP process, Peacemaker, and purchase, I'm trying to make sure that in the end you all get what you want, and both sides walk away with what they want. The seller's trying to sell the home and you're trying to buy the home. That's the ultimate goal, is to reach that goal and become a homeowner. So if you have any questions about the home buying process and what my role is in helping you through the process, feel free to shoot me a message or shoot me a text, 913-484-1332. And you all have a great weekend.